Hello everybody. I'm going to hit the second button. Hold on. Alright, this is recording and so is the dash cam. I'll show you. Here's what it looks like. Here, hold on. Hold please. Alright, there's the dash cam. That's what you guys will be seeing. Here's the phone mount you guys are in right here. And you'll be looking at me, and I got my earphones in. See right there? There I am. See my headphones? Yeah, here we go. So, there we are. We'll be doing this in just a second. Alright, everybody, we're back. Let me fire this monster up. Whoa. That's what happens when you got Carter carburetors. They percolate. Edelbrocks and Carters all do the same kind of thing. Should I put my hat on? Oh, I better put this stuff back in a box. Hold, please. Hold, please. Alright, here we go. In reverse. Leaving Costco. I bought you guys a camera. A dash cam. And it's been recording this whole time. I'll have to weed through all this footage and see how long it lasts. But it's plugged in. And has GPS, the little GPS thing right here. It'll tell. Oh, God, I don't want this stupid phone cord getting caught in my. Whoops. Maybe I need first gear. Hold on. The headphones like to get caught in this camera, in the steering wheel. I need to make sure that I get a different set of. Where are we going here? This is a mess. Costco is always a zoo. Don't go to Costco on this day. If you come here, don't go to Costco. Actually, go to Costco like on Wednesday, which is today, at 2 p.m., which is about now. And that's your best chance of getting in there and getting out alive. But you still got dummies like this. People that have no idea what they're doing or where they're going. They just got here off the airplane, so they go directly to Costco. But for normal folks that need to go to Costco, you don't dare go on like the weekends if you can help it, because man, there's everybody and their dog is there. Oh, easy now, easy. Don't pull out in front of me. Pay attention. Got some frozen goodies over here. Fourth gear, there we go. All right, seatbelt engaged. All right, we're rolling along. We're cruising. My hair's blowing in the wind. And where should we go? We're going by the airport. Maybe we'll go through Paia. Let's go through Paia. We'll go home that way. I got to get home, put the frozen groceries away. I got some frozen berries for my smoothies. I got maple syrup because I love it. And I got some sliced turkey breast because I like sliced turkey breast. I like deli meats. It's organic, doesn't have any junk in it. And I feel like eating that. We're technically doing 40 miles an hour or whatever. Ooh, this has GPS. Wonder if it'll track mileage. I have no idea. We'll see. I just pushed the record button, and this will be our first video. And I'll chop it up into segments. Maybe it'll be funny. Maybe it won't be funny. Maybe it'll just be... Who's that big naked guy driving around in that 57? I'm not naked. I have pants on. Or board shorts. I just don't wear a shirt because it's, it's over 75. Who wears a shirt over 75? That's crazy talk. I mean, if it gets below 80, I'll put a shirt on usually. Well, that's not true. If it gets below 75, if it gets below 70, I'm wearing sweatpants. And the seat heater's coming on in my wife's 4Runner. And I'm checking for snow on the ground, and I'm making sure it's not slippery. Make sure the pipes don't freeze. No, that's nothing. Let's see. So, we're just cruising around going by the airport. That's all that's going on right now. Nothing really. You can see out the back window right there. See, there's the back window. Over there is the... that's the street, yeah. I should tell you about the HGA sticker in the back window. That sticker back there, if you can see it, is HGA, which is Hawaii Grom Association, which Grom is for little kids, kids, grommet, like Wallace and Gromit. I don't know where Grom came from, but it's a term for, little surfer kids, Groms. I really don't know where it came from. But anyway, these Groms, so it's Hawaii Grom surfer. That's Justin. He died, sadly. Really good surfer. Like world-class kind of crazy surfer. Good, super good. That's a picture of him. He's a good surfer. I never knew him. I never met him. How I got the sticker was I built this car. I was out surfing, and I went to, I don't remember where I was, someplace, and somebody threw me a shaka. I was someplace eating or something, and somebody saw it. This old guy saw it. Turns out it was the guy that started this thing, like in the, I don't know, way back when, HJ. And so it's kind of like a club, mostly North Shore surfer kids, and then all those surfer kids grew up. I think they learned how to like jiu-jitsu or something like that. They learned all that. They learned surfing. They learned everything from these guys. It's just like a boys club. It's kind of rough around the edges, but they're super cool guys. There's another one of them just gave me away, but only certain people, I guess, have this sticker. I didn't know that. But anyway, the guy who gave it to me, his name's Felix. His dad, I guess, was the head guy, and his dad saw my car and saw that I was surfing and told Felix to get me the sticker because his dad saw it and was like, hey, man, that's like 1968. That's what it used to be like around here when he was growing up surfing, when they started all that, so he needs to run one of these stickers. And I don't really surf the North Shore Ho'okipa very much. It gets really crowded, and I'm not big for crowds. Nothing against those guys. They're all just way better surfers than me, and I don't want to waste a wave for them. I like a big wave, but not barreling, and I like it, just a different kind of more mellow scene. And those guys are all super good, so like I said, I don't need to be there with them. I'm not super good. I suck. I'm a kook, and I know it. Nothing wrong with being a kook. Kooks are people too. Anyway, just his dad made me one. So the second time I saw Felix, so he was telling me about it at first, and then the second time I saw him, I was backing out at leaving, and he like pulled in beside me and blocked me in and got out and goes, dude, you got to put the sticker on your car. I'm like, all right. So he's like, actually, bro, I forget how he said it. It was really funny, but he's like super high energy. And he's like, my dad told you to run that sticker. I was like, okay, so I put it on right there. Only sticker I had on my car for a long time. I was kind of like, well, okay, if I'm supposed to run it, I'll run it. So I was honoring. I was like, gotta honor this old guy. He was pretty cool. Uncle wanted me to run it. I'm gonna run it. And then I ended up going to Ho'okipa one day, and there was a bunch of, like, when you first pull into Ho'okipa, there was like some older guys hanging out, and then there were some younger guys hanging out, and both crowds were like, spin a boo burnout. So I like torched them off the first time, did a burnout through there. It's pretty fun. Clutch dump and tire smoke is pretty cool. And then this, like a second or third time, I actually was in there surfing, and I was leaving, and I came through there checking out the surf, and I had parked higher up on the hill by the guard shack, and I headed back down in the same group. And they're like, do it. And this time they all had their cameras out there. I do it. So there's a guy in a new SS Camaro in front of me, and he went way down. I gave him some space, and one guy's like, he's not going to do it. And somebody else goes, oh, he's going to do it. He's giving that guy some room, right? And I looked at the guy and smiled, and I just like revved it way up and let the clutch go, and then that was it. Just held it to the wood and, spun out. I was like driving. It was reckless. It was crazy. It was a good time. Good burnout. Lots of smoke. Good time. So fast forward, I'm in the water surfing. I'm at a different surf spot, 1,000 Peaks on the other side. And this guy comes out in the water, and he was there. And he asked me, he's like, hey, where'd you get that sticker? Like at first they're like, hey man, where'd you get that sticker? Kind of like, mud checking me. Like, we don't know who you are, blah, blah, that kind of a thing. Like, who are you? And I was like, oh, this guy told me I was supposed to run it. And, his dad said so. And they're like, oh, is it Felix? I'm like, yeah, that's the guy. And he's like, Felix's dad said you have to run that sticker? I'm like, yep. They're like, okay, no problems. Well, I didn't realize, but, like, that carried some weight. So, that's the way it is in these islands. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And it's like just part of they call it an ohana, like a family. And so I was like, instantly like, these guys over here were super cool. From that point on, I could hop in there and surf. But I did the burnouts anyway, just because I like doing burnouts. But apparently the second one was for a friend of theirs that died, and they were having a funeral there. And I didn't know that, but they all wanted me to do a burnout, and I guess he would have really liked that stuff. So, not knowing it, you never know who you're gonna, or whatever you're doing, or when someone asks you to do something, you never know what the reasons are or why. But in that case, it was, I guess kind of honoring the guy, their friend that died, their fallen surfer guy. And it sucks. Anytime a surfer dies out here in the water, we all know it must have been pretty hairy. Those of us that surf, we know exactly. Like if you surf for long enough, you're gonna be in a hairy situation. Like, it's with any extreme sport or whatever. I'm not saying like X Games, kind of like, I'm not even at that level, but I'm saying like, at any point, anybody can get caught on the wrong wave at the wrong time. It doesn't have to be big, and it can be really scary. Like, the ocean is huge, and the ocean, like I said before, does not care, doesn't even know that you're there. You got to respect it, just like, respecting your old hot rod. It may be boring to you, you may get complacent, but that's when it gets dangerous. Don't be complacent. Here we are, coming into Paia. This little sign here next to it said Paia. Used to say, where it says grow up, it used to say Paia, Maui's historical plantation town or village, and then someone changed it to hysterical. It's a Maui's hysterical plantation town. Now someone shoo canned all it over, like spray can, so you can't even tell anymore. But it was really funny. Those of us that live here, it's pretty true. A lot of hippies live here. A lot of young hippies. I call them yippies because they're not, they're like trust fund babies, I guess. The old hippies, the ones that grew up here, that have been here forever, peace, love, and barbecue sauce, those guys are all real cool. They don't live here. They live way up on the mountain where they can get away from people. But there's a bunch of young ones down here, and they're super territorial. They're like closed-minded, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't think the way they think, then, you've got problems or whatever. You're not cool. They want you to be so open-minded that that's how they think. They're so open-minded, they're closed off. Anyway, enough with that rant. Actually, they're not that bad. When we first moved here, we had some run-ins with some. I guess we stuck out like a sore thumb. They're like, threw a shoulder at my wife in a juice store. And I was like, what the heck is that? Like, why would you why would some chick throw a shoulder at some other chick in the store anyway? Like, you're getting juice. You're getting juice or kombucha. What's funny is the kombucha shop that we were at, my buddy Chris owns, and they didn't know me, but I was working on his Volkswagen van. And that's why we were in there, because Chris is my buddy. But, these young hippies, they were just, young hippie girl, she thought it was her place to teach my wife a lesson, I guess. Throw some shoulders. No matter. Nobody said anything to anybody and just went on, like it didn't happen. But, there's that kind of mentality. Everybody runs into that kind of stuff everywhere. It's, territories. People are always fighting over turf. This is my spot, my wave. Man, get off my wave. The Rolling Stones. Hey, you, get off my cloud. Right? I think Red Hot Chili Peppers did. Get off my wave or something. Or, no, that was the Best Wave. Is that their song, The Best Wave? There's Pearl Jam to Get Off My Wave? I don't know. I'm rambling. I will be chopping this up into pieces, guaranteed. Because it's going on. It's like 13 minutes so far. This is the old sugar mill on the right. That place closed down like 2007 or 8. It was an extension. It was of the original sugar mill that shut down in 2017. This is in 2007. They shut this one down because they made it so efficient they didn't need this one anymore. They could truck stuff. They got the equipment more efficient. They could truck it faster. Then they didn't need to process it here. They could just do all the processing at the one plant. I mean, that's what happens. You work yourself out of a job, I guess. They canned like 400 or 500 people out of that facility. And then when the main one went down in 2017, I think almost 1,000 people lost their jobs in an industry that was around here for 147 years, I think. It's pretty sad. There's a lot of generations. A lot of folks growing up here. Like, this is an old plantation. This is Skill Village. This is like the workers lived here. Most of the workers lived in this village right here. I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's just how it is. More efficient. People don't need people anymore. Gets to be more automated, more modular. Thank God for old cars and old hot rods. There's not very many of us around anymore that know how to work on this stuff. It's a shame. And I wonder, you know, I don't have any kids, so I wonder, like, who am I going to pass all this stuff on to? Like, I learned from a bunch of gray-haired, gray-bearded old guys that taught me stuff. They're the type of guys that, like, forgot more than I'll ever learn. You know, and so volumes of that left. Now we got the same thing going on here. Like, there's nobody interested. I don't know anybody, any young kids, or anybody in their 20s or 30s, really. Because, I mean, I'm not, I guess I gotta admit it, I'm old. I'm 48, so I don't know anybody even 10 years younger than me, nobody lives here with the exception of a few people that I know. And then, you know, I've got like a couple buddies here that there's a whole Rolling Death group. Those guys, there's 3 of those weirdos. Nate, Noah, and Cliffy, you know, those guys working on their motorcycles and all that kind of stuff. Ooh, someone's going around me because I'm going too slow. Bye, tourists. Bye-bye. 30 miles an hour and I'm doing 40. Man, some people are in a hurry. Hurry to be on their vacation, right? Are they late for their vacation? Oh, look, he got behind you and somebody even slower than me. Isn't that the way it is? You speed around somebody, end up at the same stop sign or stoplight? Good job, dude. Good job. And that's it. Speed up to the 10 mile an hour corner. Yeah, if you wreck it, I'll pull you out and help you. This is Paradise Park I'm coming up next to. Did I tell you about the time that I found a truck sitting in there? There was a truck sitting right here in the middle of this park. It had come down through the back. Someone missed the turn way up high and came crashing down through all these trees and landed right here in the middle of the park. When we get around, I'll show you. So here's that 15 mile an hour turn. Let's drop her into second. Come on around here, second gear. It's all right. Park's on my right. Over there. Right up here. See that corner right there? See that smashed up? Right, that last sign right there where it's all smashed? Well, that guardrail used to continue around to that sign, clear around here, and somebody went right off that and ended up right down in the park. The truck was there for as long as a Dodge Ram, like a 90s model or something. It was there for a long time. Oh. These plants, at a certain time of the year, these trees are all blooming in big flowers. They're beautiful. Ooh, we're coming up into a storm. No, it's just the normal clouds. It's not really a storm. It will be raining, hopefully. We need it. It's so dry around here. We were on water restriction. You guys probably don't know what that is. Water restriction is when we can only we can only use like showers and toilets and stuff. We can't wash cars or water our lawns. You can do your garden though. You are allowed to do your garden. And this last year they were trying to get us to like turn on our neighbors and tell on people so they could get like a $5,000 fine for using water. I'm not doing that. If my neighbor needs to use a little extra water, I'll use a little less. I mean, that's just not turning him in because he had to wash his car. The thing was covered in mud. And I'm not telling what neighbor it was. You know, or he's got to wash his dog because his dog went to the beach and got covered in sand and salt. Me. And I had to wash my doggy outside. Give me $5,000 fine for mossing Miss Molly. We gotta keep that puppy clean. Anyway, cruising right along. So far today, we've put on a lot. 70. No, that can't be right. 74, 159, 160. It's just now clicking. 74,160. What was it this morning? It wasn't over 100. It was around like 80. Wow, so we put 80 miles on it so far today. Where'd we go? We went to 1,000 Peaks. We went up the hill, down the hill. Oh, it's been more than that. We've got a... Did it click over 4,000? Was it 73,000 and like 980 something this morning? Did it go to 74,000? I don't remember what it was. Anyway, we went up the hill, down the hill, back up the hill. So we went down the hill, went surfing on the other side of the island, went back to across the island, went up the hill to the golf course, did the 56, went back down the hill, and then we went up Hawaii and went to Costco, went up to Hawaii. Yeah, so I didn't even keep track. It's between, I'm going to say between 80 and 100 miles so far. And we're not home yet. But we are coming into rain. And hope that camera didn't shut off. I don't know how that camera works. Does it work every 30 seconds? I don't know. We'll see. I probably got a bunch of figuring out to do because I haven't even read the instructions. I'm not reading instructions. Instructions are for people that don't like doing stuff the hard way. I should read the instructions, but I'm too lazy, so I'm going to do it twice. Why do it right the first time when I can do it again, right? I mean, if you don't ever try anything, you'll never fail. That's what I always tell my nephews. It's good wisdom, right? Don't try. If you don't want to fail, don't try. I don't believe in failure anyway. I don't believe in mistakes. I think every single one of them is an opportunity for to learn something. All mistakes or failures they're positive. That's how I learn how to do something I don't want to do. If I break something, that's how I figure out how to fix it. It's not like, oops, I broke it. This sucks. I mean, it sucks when I'm going through it, but the learning thing, what I learned from it, is invaluable. Wisdom comes from suffering. I heard that the other day. An experience. That's how you know what not to do. If you don't, nowadays everybody types in their little computer and they talk about a bunch of stuff and they think they're pretty wise, but they've never experienced anything. You can tell someone that's actually experienced something because it makes sense. But you can tell it comes from the heart. Like they're remembering something that they did, and they're like, that was a lesson learned, and I'm going to tell you the lesson I learned. Instead of just my opinion, I'm going to tell you a lesson with a story, and hopefully you won't repeat the mistake I made, and that'll save you some heartache. That's the whole goal in life, I think. That's how you really love your neighbor, so to speak, is you help them out. You go grab stuff and help them actually physically do stuff, but you also share with them your life and your stories and stuff like that, because maybe they'll learn something that'll help them in their life, and they can pass that on to somebody else, like their kids or whatever, that help them. Which goes back full circle to, man, this is the only outlet I have, is you folks right there. I don't have any kids, so if I'm blabbing and sharing stuff and experiences and stories and how to do this or how to do that and why I do it, working on old cars and stuff like that, and you guys pick up some stuff, then great. It gets passed on and that knowledge goes somewhere else, versus it being gone forever, or someone having to, multiple people probably know it, and the original engineers and stuff, they understand that stuff, but where'd they write it down? It's hard to find, so if it's stored in somebody's memory banks and they get it out there and then the world has it, here it's recorded, it can be referred to easier. You just have to weed through a lot of BS and, you know, opinions to find it. But there's truth in there somewhere. Ooh, they're picking up kids at school. This is going to be fun. How am I going to get around? Oh, just like this. All right, everybody, go pick up your kids. It's that time. It's that time of the day. People are throwing shakas. Super friendly. Come to Hawaii. If you come on vacation, come here to Hawaii on vacation, but don't do all the touristy stuff. And that's all the stuff you want to do. If you want to go snorkeling and all that kind of stuff, it's fun and look at turtles. They're around. But when you come over here, remember that it's just like a small town. Please and thank you. Common courtesy goes a long way. And remember, these are all individual kingdoms, and they're a foreign country. And you need to respect them as a foreign country. Even though it's part of the United States, you still respect it. It's like reaching in the fridge and grabbing a beer at somebody's house without being invited. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't do that, so, you know, don't do that kind of stuff here. Be respectful. Just because someone's cleaning your hotel room or, you know, helping at the front desk or getting your rental car or working at the restaurant or whatever, the grocery store. Remember, these islands, the main export is tourism. It doesn't mean that they're less than, or they're smarter or dumber or lower class because they're serving you. It's their job. You know what I mean? Like, that is their job. That is the job, and they do it with a smile, and they do it with a happiness and love. You know, and man, that respect needs to be reciprocated, because they will be nice regardless if you're not. It's just the type of people that live here. Anyway, enough of my rant. Oh, look at that. There's a Chevy Volt. Is that the one that they recalled every single car? Because they all were catching fire and they were telling you not to park in your garage? Is that what it is? Or is it the Bolt? One was electric and one of them was a hybrid. I don't know which one was which. To me, they're all a lie. A huge lie. Electric cars are a lie. People buy them because they think they feel good about themselves and they plug in their cars and they get electricity, but they don't think about where the electricity comes from. Over here, it's a diesel power plant that's not very efficient. What's the difference between running an electric car and plugging it into a diesel power source or burning fossil fuels? You tell me. And all the raw materials it takes to build an electric car, all the mining and stuff like that, how much fuel is consumed in there, and then the mining and the processing plants and all that stuff, and how much was consumed for making the processing plant, and then the electricity used to run the processing plant, and how many little like circuit boards and small pieces and stuff like that are on the circuit board, and how many miles of electrical wiring, and the mining process involved in that, and how much raw materials are needed for those things, and how much fuel takes to mine that stuff. Like, if you think about it, I've said this before, it'll take my 57 Chevy 1,000 years at 10 miles to the gallon to make a carbon footprint as big as a Prius. And most people lease those things or whatever. Electric cars, they last 2 or 3 years. What are you going to do with that battery? Like, it's just the way it is. That's the reality of it. It's a huge lie. Huge lie. Hybrid cars and electric cars are a major lie. It may save you in your pocketbook and you don't have a fuel bill, but it's not helping the planet any. Go get an old car, go learn how to work on your old car, and go pull the parts out of the dirt in the ground and fix them and get them going. Put that thing back on the road. That's what you do. That's how you save the planet. Pull something that's rusting and actually polluting the ground out of the ground, clean it up, and put it back in its intended use. That's how you save the planet. That's actual recycling. All right, we're home, kids. See you guys later.